What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have an underused match. This one is against Stretchy, and this was from my live stream a couple weeks back. Something to keep in mind about this match is that I actually hadn't played a Wi-Fi battle in like a couple weeks before this one, so this was kind of like my returning match, and it's a pretty interesting one, so let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to lead off with my Regirock, seeing as he does have a Mega Beedrill on his team. He's probably going to want to lead off with that, and Regirock gets a decent matchup with it. So, he does end up leading off with his Beedrill, and that's actually pretty decent for me. So on the first turn, he's going to go for the Mega Evolution. I expect him to probably want to go for the U-turn or something like that, so I just go ahead and go for a Thunder Wave on the first turn. I could have gone for the Stealth Rock, which is my usual play, but I just kind of wanted to catch something with a Thunder Wave early on, and if his Beedrill stays in, it's pretty perfect, but he does end up staying in. Seeing there, he did go for the knockoff, so that is actually perfect for me. Regirock really does not care about losing his item, and I was able to get a Paralyze on the Beedrill first turn. This allows me now to go for a Rock Slide, and that's actually just going to take that thing out on the second turn, which is amazing. That was one of the biggest threats on his team, and handled already, so that was kind of a misplay on his end. That Beedrill definitely could have come in handy later on in the match. But shit happens, I guess. So now he's gonna bring out his freaking Heartfish, which is the weirdest. I hate this Pokemon, honestly. I don't know what it is about this damn thing, but his Regenerator is just super annoying. It's not even an Evolution of Love Disc thing, just pisses me off on a bunch of different levels. But he goes for the Toxic, as I'm able to switch in Whimsicott, and that was actually a good play on his end because Whimsicott does not really like being poisoned here. And I was kind of expecting him to probably just go for a Scald or something like that. But now he's gonna go for the Protect, which is another reason why I hate this thing, because fucking Toxic Protect and just it's so bulky. God, yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain here. Just trying to see if he wants to stay in on me, but of course he's actually going to end up switching into the Chestnut. So the Chestnut kind of turns out to be a pretty big threat to my team. Honestly, I never really see these things as that hard to take care of, but I go for the Giga Drain. It's going to do a decent amount of damage to him. Honestly, after the resistance and stuff like that, I'm like, you know, I'll take that damage. I'll take it. I don't have Dazzling Gleam on my Whimsicott, which would have definitely come in handy, but unfortunately this Whimsicott is a really old set that I've been using forever, and I should probably change it up. But anyway, I decided to switch out 100% Cotton into Flappy the Crobat here, just because I know that, you know, Crobat gets an awesome matchup against Chestnut, but unfortunately he is actually going to switch as well, so we get a double switch here as he's going to bring in his Muck. And sitting here looking at this matchup, I know that the only thing this Muck can really do to me is Ice Punch, and there's a chance that he probably doesn't carry that, so I decided to risk it. I go for the Nasty Plots, but unfortunately he does have Ice Punch, and that does a lot of damage. This is an attack invested Muck, because it's actually a pretty bulky Crobat, but here I make a pretty stupid play. Here was my mindset. I was like, if I connect on an Air Slash, I could potentially get the flinch. It'll do about half, and then I could kill it with another one. But Muck is just way too specially defensive. I don't get the flinch, and he's able to finish me off with another Ice Punch, which is actually really bad. That was a bigger impact on the match than I really thought at the time, because of the fact that Crobat was a really great answer to the damn Chestnut, but now I don't have it, so that's just unfortunate. But I'm able to now bring in Azelf on the Revenge Kill switch, and I'm able to take that thing out with a Psychic. So down goes the Muck. He did take out my Crobat, so I'm pretty salty about that, and that was just kind of a dumb play on my end. But now he's going to bring out his Chandelure. I know that he's probably going to be Choice Scarfed. I see a lot of Choice Scarfs on Chandelure, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to save Azelf for later. I decide to switch in Tubby in case he wants to go for the Shadow Ball. But he just makes a nice play and goes straight for the Fire Blast. But Tubby is going to eat that up, just like everything else in life. And look at that, 0 damage after the leftovers. Well, not 0, but pretty much. May as well be. So he's now going to switch out his Chandelure. He doesn't have anything to hit me with, as he's going to bring in his Chestnut, because fighting type and all that kind of fun stuff. But I'm like, you know what, I'm going to set up a Curse here, because I feel like I can win the matchup against Chestnut if I can get enough Curses up. His Arm Thrust, or whatever the hell these things go for, is eventually not going to be able to do a whole lot. Plus I do have Rest, and I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, you know, this is probably going to end up being a really long matchup, considering he does have Leech Seed, as he shows me here on the first turn, and honestly, a Leech Seeded Snorlax is an inefficient Snorlax, let me tell you. He has so much health that he just gets so much drained, but I go for the Body Slam, potentially trying to get the Paralyzed. I don't get it, and I just get hit by the Rocky Helmet. I'm like, oh gee, there's just way too many things affecting this matchup where Tubby is just not enjoying it. Unless it's a damn all-you-can-eat buffet out here, Tubby's like, I'm out of here. So the Leech Seed's annoying. He does have Drain Punch, so he's able to get health back and stuff, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. Snorlax, we tried. So I'm just going to send back in Whimsicott, because I know he does not really have anything that can touch Whimsicott, but then really looking at the matchup, I'm like, you know what, Cotton doesn't really have a whole lot I can touch this thing with either, honestly. So here at this point, I'm kind of trying to bluff the fact that I might have something I could hit this thing with and try to force a switch. So I decided to go with the bluff. I switch Whimsicott right the hell back out again, and I go into Azelf, maybe expecting him to switch into something like the Chandelure, but he does not. But Azelf actually gets a free switch into the Chestnut, so that's, you know, kind of works out perfectly as he went for the Spiky Shield there. So now he brings out the Alomomola, the stupid palindrome fish. He's gonna get hit with is that what that's called? Palindrome, when the name can be spelled backwards and forward? Yeah, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, well, I just went for the Psychic, and seeing how much damage that did, the Choice Specs Azelf is coming in handy. Look at that damage. It's able to be a 2-hit KO on this Alomomola. He's just going to go for a Protect there, I guess, just to kind of stall it out. Really doesn't make a difference. He is going to get his leftover recovery, but Psychic does still have enough damage to be able to take this thing out. And I honestly love using Choice Specs Azelf. This thing destroys lives, but he's going to switch that thing out. He's going to get his Regenerator or whatever. He's going to come back out with more health like a damn magician. But he's now going to bring in Donphan, and this was kind of an interesting play. He decides to sack off the Donphan, realizes that Alomomola might be more useful to him, but Psychic's going to knock him down to Sturdy, and at this point, he's going to eat his Custap Berry, and that allows him to go before me, and he's able to hit me with a knockoff. But fortunately, Azelf at full health is able to take a knockoff from a Donphan, unless it's like Adamant Max attack, I believe. But yeah, he actually knocks off my Choice Specs, which kind of ends up working out better for me. I'm able to finish him off with a Psychic, and he's now going to bring in a Chandelure, and I know this thing is still probably Choice Scarfed, and I'm like, you know what, Azelf, we're not going to risk it, or Bezelf, or whatever the hell you're called, but we're going to switch the hell out of here. I'm going to bring in Tubby. I know I have the matchup here. This thing really can't touch Tubby, even with a Fire Blast. It's not going to really do a whole lot. I think this thing's like max special defense. This Snorlax just eats up special attacks. It's ridiculous. So, get hit with a Fire Blast, not going to get burned, and I'm like, thank you, Lord. Arceus, you are fucking looking over me today, as he's now going to switch out of Chandelure. He cannot take an attack from me. I can Earthquake his ass and do a lot of damage, as he's now going to bring in the freaking Chestnut again. I'm like, this would never be a dilemma had I just saved my Crobat for later, because there's literally nothing Chestnut can do to Crobat, and I can just kill it with an Air Slash. Would have just been much easier, but no, I had a stupid play against that Muck earlier, so, you know, whatever. What are you going to do? So, Tubby is going to go for the rest, and I get all the way back to full, and I'm like, alright, now we're going to switch you out of here, give you another little rest back in the old Pokeball. And alright, so at this point, I have a plan. I know that I need to be able to bring in Azelf against this Chestnut, and I should be able to win the match. So he's going to go for Spikes. He luckily doesn't have any Stealth Rock, so Azelf's not going to be able to get hit by that, which is nice. But I honestly just brought in Regirock at this point because I want it to die so I can get a revenge switch into Azelf. Once Azelf comes in, something's pretty much going to die if he decides to switch into the Alomomola. I can switch my move into Thunderbolt since I don't have the Choice Specs item anymore. The Chestnut can die, and he does still have that Chandelure left. So he has 3 Mons left. He has Chestnut, Alomomola, and Chandelure. I do in the back of my team have a Mamoswine that I've kind of assigned as like a check towards that Chandelure. So I have pretty much everything accounted for at this point. I honestly just need Regirock to die so I can get this whole action started. One more Drain Punch is going to be able to finish off Regirock, so thank you, Bowser. You're fucking doing work. So this now allows me to bring in Azelf, and the destruction continues. So down goes Botros. That was actually a traded Regirock that I got from somebody random, I think, and I actually ended up using it, so that's cool. But I'm now able to bring in Azelf, and he's going to switch into his Alomomola here, I believe. Yeah, his incoming Psychic is actually going to get a critical hit, but I don't think it really mattered, considering after a regular Psychic hit, I'm pretty sure a Thunderbolt is able to still take this thing out. So he's going to get his leftovers. I think he actually ends up going for a Protect as well, but honestly, it's not going to. No, he doesn't actually. He just stays in. Thunderbolt is going to be able to take out the fish. Fried that mofo, and at this point he's going to be able to bring in his Chandelure, but I am not really that worried because of the fact that I do still have my Mamoswine, like I said before. So Chandelure is going to come out here nice and shiny. I actually really like shiny Chandelure. It looks pretty badass, but I'm now going to go ahead and switch into Whimsicott. Here I just kind of let Whimsicott take the Fire Blast to the face and die, because I really just need a free matchup into Mamoswine. As long as Mamoswine comes in with full health against this thing, I should be alright. A Fire Blast is going to take out Whimsicott, and I've honestly been thinking about it. I'm like, wow, this guy has hit a lot of Fire Blast this match. It's ridiculous. Whenever I use Fire Blast, you better believe I missed like 4 out of 5 of them bitches. But I'm going to bring in Mamoswine here. Face Paint is ready for battle, and he actually goes for a Fire Blast and misses right there. So just kind of deserved that one, honestly. I mean, even if it did hit, I'm pretty sure I'd be able to live it, and a knockoff is going to be able to finish off the Chandelure. So, at this point in the match, all he has left is his Chestnut, and I do still have Azelf in the back of my team. So at this point, I honestly just let Mamoswine die, and Azelf is able to come in on the revenge kill and take this thing out. I go for the knockoff, just for the shits and gigs, to get rid of his Rocky Helmet and stuff, although I get hurt by it in the process, but yeah, so this match was kind of a pretty rusty one for me. I hadn't played in a while before this, and I could have played a lot better, I think, but there was a lot of really interesting kind of revenge kill switches in this and stuff. I really had to account for this Chestnut after losing Crobat. It really kind of messed me up, but this Chestnut thing's an asshole, man. He's able to finish off Face Paint with one more Drain Punch, and then Azelf is going to come in, and the MVP of the match is about to just clean this shit up. So that is pretty much the end of the match, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I realize that there hasn't been Wi-Fi battles on this channel for about a month or so, we're kind of back in it. I think I'm going to probably start uploading Wi-Fi battles again. But yeah, this turned out to be a really good match. This was actually live streamed to a lot of my viewers on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch if you are not already. The link will be in the description. And thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you want to see some more Wi-Fi battles, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.